when I discovered you, it was because I was going to do one myself. Like, what is the point of acoustic basses? And you did a really long, but I think you've done a series of videos about acoustic basses, not double bass,
Yeah,
acoustic.
yeah.
What would you call? How do you define? What would be this phrase
Um,
for an
the the
acoustic?
distinction you'd probably make is acoustic electric bass,
Yeah, that's the best way to call it. Yeah.
or like the PhD in bass would call it transverse bass because it's sideways instead of upright.
Okay.
Transverse is the opposite of upright. Yeah,
We'll stick with
yeah,
acoustic electric. That's just too much.
yeah. For clarity's sake.
But I found the feckin' things completely useless in my entire life playing bass. And funnily enough, I was asked there before Christmas to maybe do a review of an acoustic bass. It never came about because something happened in the company and I didn't do the review in the end. But I was really apprehensive about doing it because I was like, I kind of hate acoustic basses. I'm going to have to
Yeah,
play this bass before I review it. I know that the company make really good basses, but even at that, I don't know is the best acoustic bass in the world still going to be decent enough for me to buy. Like,
yeah. I think that is just like a difference in use case because I'm sure like because you're more of a gigging player.
mm,
You're playing in bands and you're getting up on stage and playing shows. And for those kinds of applications, acoustic bass is not very useful. They just create more problems than they have solutions. If you're the kind of player that just plays at home for enjoyment and you want something on the couch that doesn't require you to have an amp or anything, yeah, that's great. Acoustic bass is good for that. Or
mm,
if you need the acoustic bass aesthetic, like if you want to do like the Alice in Chains, unplugged MTV
yeah.
sort of a deal. But I'd just rather have a P bass. Like if I'm
But
going to do anything like
if that's the only
acoustic,
purpose for it, what's the point spending thousands on one if it's just something for
right,
sitting on the couch,
right.
not strumming, but plucking away
Hmm.
on?
Yeah, and if like for practice purposes, like I want to practice on the bass that I'm going to perform with, so like it's just there's just no place for it in what I do. But I can see the merit for some people, like why some people insist on it, and they kind of have to like do this weird like mental gymnastics to be like, no, they are good. I promise they are good. Okay, are they though?
Yeah, well, your video was pretty long. It was pretty in depth. Was it about like a half an hour, 40-minute video or something?
What's funny is the first video that I made on acoustic basses was a long time ago, and it's only like a 4 or 5 minute video. And that one kind of just like got lots of people upset. And I was like, okay, I'm coming back and I'm bringing somebody with a PhD
More
with me.
scientific approach.
Yeah. And so I got my bass teacher, Denson Angulo, who's brilliant, and he's, upright player and everything. But yeah, even he's just like, yeah, acoustic bass is kind of blow.
Well, lads, if you like them, like you could comment and let me know like why you think they're of use. But maybe the fretless ones are pretty cool. That's one area where they're quite useful. Yet you
Yeah.
can do some solo bass stuff, or they do sound really nice when they're fretless, I think.
Yeah. There's definitely some little weird niches that you can find with that. And it's like if you want to make it your whole thing, then yeah, go for it. But just generally speaking,